Welcome back, guys, to lecture number 11. Today we'll talk about project risk management. The contents of the lecture sounds like plan risk management, identify risk, perform qualitative risk analysis, perform quantitative risk analysis, plan risk responses, control risks, and at the end of the lecture I will give you bonus task and task number 6. Yeah. So, project risk. Project risk is an uncertain event or condition that, if it is occurs, has a positive or negative effect on one or more project objectives such as the scope, schedule, cost, and quality. A risk may have one or more causes, and if it is occurs, it may have one or more impacts. A cause may be given or potential requirement, assumption, concentrates, or conditions that creates the possibility of negative or positive outcomes. Project risk has its origins in the uncertainty present in all projects. Known risks are those that have been identified and analyzed, making it possible to plan responses for those risks. Known risks that cannot be managed proactively should be assigned a contingency reserve. Unknown risks cannot be managed proactively and therefore may be assigned a management reserve. A negative project risk that has occurred is considered as issue. Individual project risk. Individual project risks are different from overall project risk. Overall project risk represents the effect of uncertainty on the project as a whole. It is more than the sum of the individual risks within a project, since it includes all resources of a project uncertainty. It represents the exposure of stakeholders to the implications of variations in project outcome, both positive and negative. Organizations perceive a risk as the effect of uncertainty on a project's and organizational objectives. Organizations and stakeholders are willing to accept varying degrees of risk depending on their risk attitude. The risk attitudes of both the organizations and the stakeholders may be influenced by a number of factors, which are broadly classified into 3 themes: risk appetite, risk tolerance, and risk threshold. Positive and negative risks are commonly referred to as opportunities and threats. The project may be accepted if the risks are within tolerances and are in balance with the rewards and may be gained by taking the risks. Positive risks that offer opportunities within the limit of risk tolerances may be pursued in order to generate enhanced value. For example, adopting an aggressive resource optimization technique is a risk taken in anticipation of a reward for using fewer resources. Success in risk. To be successful, an organization should be committed to address risk management proactively and consistently throughout the project. Plan risk management is a process of defining how to conduct risk management activities for a project. The key benefit of this process is to ensure that the degree, type, and visibility of risk management are commensurate with both the risk and the importance of the project to the organization. In planning risk management, all approved subsidiary project management plans and baselines should be taken into the consideration in order to make the risk management plan consistent with them. Analytical techniques. Analytical techniques are used to understand and define the overall risk management context of the project. Expert judgment. To ensure a comprehensive establishment of the risk management plan, judgment and expertise should be considered from groups or individuals with specialized training or knowledge in the subject area, such as senior management, project stakeholders, project managers who have worked on the project in the same area, subject matter experts in a business or project area, industry groups and consultants, professional and technical associations. Meetings. Meetings is here also is very important, and project teams hold planning meetings to develop their risk management plan. Attendees at these meetings may include the project manager, selected project team members, and stakeholders. Anyone in the organization with responsibility to manage the risk planning and execution activities, and other as needed. High-level plans for conducting the risk management activities are defined in these meetings. So, how we understand to control the risk management, meetings are very important. The risk management plan is a component of the project management plan and describes how risk management activities will structured and performed. The risk management plan includes the following: methodology, roles and responsibilities, budgeting, timing, and risk categories. Definitions of risk: probability and impact. Probability and impact matrix. Revisit stakeholders' tolerances. Reporting formats. Tracking. And identify risk. Identify risk is the process of determining which risks may affect the project and documenting their characteristics. The key benefit of this process is the documentation of the existing risks and the knowledge and ability it provides to the project team to anticipate events. Participants in the risk identification activities may include the following: project manager, project team members, risk management team, if assigned, customers, subject matter experts from outside the project team, end users, other project managers, stakeholders, and the risk management experts. While those personnel are often key participants for risk identification, all project personnel should be encouraged to identify potential risks. Identify risk is an iterative process because new risk may evolve or become known as the project progresses through its life cycle. A structured review of the project documentation may be performed, including plans, assumptions, previous project files, agreements, and other information. The quality of the plans, as well as consistency between those plans and the project requirements and assumptions, may be indicators of the risk in the project. So, information gathering techniques. Examples of information gathering techniques used in identifying risk can include brainstorming, Delphi technique, interviewing, root cause analysis, checklist analysis. Risk identification checklists are developed based on the historical information and knowledge that has been accumulated from previous similar projects and from other sources of information. Assumptions analysis. Every project and its plan is conceived and developed based on the set of hypotheses, scenarios, or assumptions. Assumptions analysis explores the validity of assumptions as they apply to the project. It identifies risks to the project from inaccuracy, instability, inconsistency, or incompleteness of assumptions. Diagramming techniques. Risk diagramming techniques may include cause and effect diagrams, system or process flow chart, influence diagram. And here they can be as a loop starting from project estimates and project activity, and it's continued by deliverables, and it can start from risk condition and goes by project estimates and continues on project activity and goes to deliverables, or from risk condition it's just can go directly to deliverables. SWOT analysis. This technique examines the project from each of the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. SWOT perspective to increase the breadth of identified risk by including internally generated risk. Risk register. The primary output from identify risk is the initial entry into the risk register. The risk register is a document in which the result of risk analysis and risk response planning are recorded. Perform qualitative risk analysis. Perform qualitative risk analysis is a process of prioritizing risk for future analysis or action by assessing and combining their probability of occurrence and impact. The key benefit of this process is that it enables project managers to reduce the level of uncertainty and to focus on high priority risks. Perform qualitative risk analysis, assess the priority of identified risk using their relative probability or likelihood of occurrence. The corresponding impact on project objectives if the risk occurs, as well as their other factors such as time frame for response and the organization's risk tolerance associated with the project concentrates of cost, schedule, scope, and quality. Risk probability and impact assessment. Risk probability assessment investigates the likelihood that each specific risk will occur. Probability and impact matrix. Risk can be prioritized for future quantitative analysis and planning risk response based on their risk rating. Ratings are assigned to the risk based on their assessed probability and impact. Evaluation of each risk's importance and priority for attention is typically conducted using a lookup table or probability and impact matrix. Sorry guys, I'm just shortly trying to explain each theme. And perform quantitative risk. Perform quantitative risk analysis is the process of numerically analyzing the effect of identified risk on overall project objectives. The key benefit of this process is that it produces quantitative risk information to support decision making in order to reduce a project uncertainty. Perform quantitative risk analysis is performed on risks that have been prioritized by the perform qualitative risk analysis process as a potentially and substantially impacting the project's competing demands. The perform quantitative risk analysis process analyzes the effect of those risks on a project objectives. It is used mostly to evaluate the aggregate effect of all risks affecting the project. When the risk drives the quantitative analysis, the process may be used to assign a numerical priority rating to those risks individually. It's a probability distributions, that's beta distributions, that's triangular distributions. It's Tornado diagram, where you are analyzing the risk between the plus direction and the minus direction. It's a total project cost with their probability. It's example, yeah. Plan risk response. Plan risk responses is a process of developing options and actions to enhance opportunities and reduce threats to project objectives. The key benefit of this process is that it addresses the risk by their priority, inserting resources and activities into the budget, schedule, and the project management plan as needed. Yeah, the risk plan, the plan risk response process follows the perform quantitative risk analysis process if used. Each risk response requires an understanding of the mechanism by which it will address the risk. Shortly, it sounds like this, and the important components of the risk management plan includes roles and responsibilities, risk analysis definitions, timing for views, and for eliminating risk from review, and risk thresholds for low, moderate, and high risk. Risk thresholds help identify those risks for which specific responses are needed. Risk register. The risk register refers to identified risk, root causes of risk, list of potential responses, risk owners, symptoms, and warning signs, the relative rating or priority list of project risk, risk requiring responses in the near term, risk for additional analysis and response trends in quantitative analysis results, and a watch list, which is a list of low priority risks within the risk register. Plan risk response tools and techniques. Several risk response strategies are available. The strategy or mix of strategies most likely to be effective should be selected for each risk. Risk analysis tools such as decision tree analysis can be used to choose the most appropriate response. Strategies for negative or threats. Three strategies which typically deal with the threats or risks that may have a negative impact on the project objectives if they are occur, and they are avoid, transform, and mitigate. The fourth strategy, accept, can be used for negative risk or threats as well as a positive risk or opportunities. Avoid, transform, mitigate, and accept. And 3 of the 4 responses are suggested to deal with a risk with a potentially positive impact on the project objectives. And they are share, enhance, and accept. Exploit, share, enhance, and accept. Exploit, enhance, share, and accept. Contingent response strategies. Some responses are designed for use only if certain events occur. For some risks, it is appropriate for the project team to make a response plan that will only be executed under certain predefined conditions. Project management plan updates. Elements of the project management plan that may be updated as a result of carrying out this process include schedule management plan, cost management plan, quality management plan, procurement management plan, human resource management plan, scope baseline, schedule baseline, and cost baseline. In the plan risk responses process, several project documents are updated as needed. Updates to the risk register can include risk owner and assigned responsibilities agreed upon response strategies, specific action to implement the chosen response strategy, trigger conditions, budget and schedule activities, contingency plans, fallback plans, residual risk, secondary risk, contingency, organization's risk thresholds. Other project documentation update could include assumptions, log updates, technical documentation updates, change requests. And control risk. Control risk is the process of implementing risk response plans, tracking identified risk, monitoring residual risk, identifying new risk, and evaluating risk process effectiveness throughout the project. The key benefit of this process is that it improves efficiency of the risk approach throughout the project lifecycle to continuously optimize risk response. So, Planet, the purpose of the control risk process are determined if project assumptions are still valid. Analysis shows an assessed risk has changed or can be retired. Risk management policies and procedures are being followed. Contingency reserves for a cost or schedule should be modified in alignment with the current risk assessment. Control risk can involve choosing alternative strategies, executing a contingency or fallback plan, taking corrective action, and modifying the project management plan. Risk reassessment. Control risk often results in identification of a new risk, assessment of current risk, and the closing of risks that are outdated. Risk audits. Risk audits examine and document the effectiveness of a risk response in dealing with identified risk and their root causes, as well as the effectiveness of the risk management process. Variance and trend analysis. Many control processes employ variance analysis to compare the planned results to the actual results. Technical performance measurement. Technical performance measurement compares technical accomplishments during project execution to the schedule of technical achievement. Change request. Implementing contingency plan or workarounds sometimes results in the change request. Change requests are prepared and submitted to the Perform Integrated Change Control process. Recommended corrective actions. These are activities that rely the performance of the project work with the project management plan. Recommended preventive action. These are activities that are ensure that future performance of the project work is aligned with the project management plan. The organization process sets that may be updated include templates for the risk management plan, including the probability and impact matrix and risk register, risk breakdown structure, and lessons learned from the project risk management activities. So that's the end of the lecture, and now I will explain about the bonuses. You have to fill this Google form. It's individual. This bonus will be given individually. It's not a teamwork. So you have to fill this. Actually, you have to upload here your PDF file, only PDF, and you in your PDF file you can write about A or B and C. C is mandatory. You can choose between A and B. Your done activities in last 8 years in detail. Otherwise, it's 0. I don't need your actions like I have done this activity for last 8 years. No, in such format is not allowed. For such format, you will get 0. You have to explain in detail. I have made this activity. the name of the activity, the year, the duration, and what you have done in these activities, what was your role in these activities, and so on. Or you can write about your future plan for 8 years, also in detail, in detail, in detail. Otherwise, it's zero. And about task number 6. In task number 6, project manager must organize a team building event with team mentor at least for 2 hours, 120 minutes. In this event, team can show, explain, promote, take feedback of project from mentor, or just have a fun. It depends on you and to your mentor. The main requirement that all team members must be in this video. So you need to take video and upload to team YouTube channel. In video, there must be all members of your team plus mentor. If you can do it online, if one of member or mentor will be missing, team will take 0 points. Video can be 2 or 3 minutes duration. You can do it online. You can do it online. If you can do it offline, it is good. If you will do it online, so your mentor can say, I don't want to turn on my camera, I will just speak. Okay, it is okay, because I know your mentors and I know their voice. So there is no problem about turning on your camera. But you team members must turn on their cameras. Okay, how you can spend 2 hours? For example, you can choose 2 hours and with team member you can finish on this time, you can finish your project, and you can ask your mentor, please, can you join at the beginning, at the middle, and at the end of these 2 hours? He or she can say, yeah, of course, I can join at the start, and at the end I can join. Or he can say, yeah, I can join at the end, but he or she have to join to your online meeting, and you have to have discussion with him. I think it's clear, and that's all. And thank you. See you on the next